What is up, guys, and welcome back to the AAO podcast. We're so excited that you have joined us today. I am actually joined with one of my best friends, Mariely. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I've known Mariely for, 2-3 years?
It feels like it's been longer.
I know. I feel like I've known you my whole life.
I've been here, or I feel like I've been here for so long.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 years.
Very strange. But tell the people, how did we meet? What were your first impressions of me?
How did we met, actually?
How did we meet? How did we met? Or how do you say it? How did we meet? Yeah.
So we were at youth, and I had complimented your sweatshirt because she made it, and it was really cute. And I was like, and you should make me one. And then she gave me the dirtiest look.
No, I did not.
On accident. On accident, God. I guess. And I was like, okay. And then after that, I think it was for your mom's birthday that we hung out outside of church.
It was very strange because I never talked to her. And then my mom was like, hey, I'm inviting this girl. You met her at church. Her name is Mariely. I'm inviting her to my birthday. You be nice to her. And I'm like, what do you mean be nice to her? Like, I'm nice to everybody. And then she comes in and I'm like, oh, wait, I've met you before. Like, what the heck? Mm-hmm. But then I don't realize, like, I don't mean to come off as,
you're
rude.
Good. I feel like if I'm not talking to you, that's also what you're going to see on my face. But if you talk to me, then I'll be smiling and everything. But before that, this is my face.
Yeah, so I wasn't rude.
I know.
I was just not aware. And normally when I'm not aware, it's just nothing's going on in my brain. So it's just like...
Or there's a lot going on.
Either nothing or a lot in between. But it's never personal. So please don't take it personally.
And then I started working at the resort that you work at. Mm-hmm. And that's how we became closer. Yeah, it was crazy. We were not that close.
At all. I don't even know how we started hanging out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was probably through food. I was like, you want to get food or something?
Yeah, probably, because I'm a bit...
That's how it is every time.
Or whatever.
But yeah, so I'm very glad that you're in my life. Very much so. But anywho, as you guys know, I start every episode off with a segment called Debatable. And in this segment, I give you guys a hot topic where you just let me know your opinion via our Instagram or now our YouTube. So if you're listening to this, you can also be watching it on our YouTube, AAO Pod Fam. Check it out, subscribe, do whatever you want. But anyways, the topic for today is, do you think s'mores are I think it's R-A? Mm-hmm. Something. Do you think it's a summer or a winter treat?
I think it's a winter treat.
Why?
Because it's hot and outside it's cold. So like you would want to do it in the winter, especially because you have the fire thing. The fire pit in front of you, and if it's hot, you're gonna but if I crave it, I'm gonna
eat it whenever.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it's a winter thing for sure. Like, why eat? It's like eating soup in the summer. Yeah, like if you do that, you're a psychopath. I'm glad we're on the same page about that. Yeah, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, but today's topic is one that I've had 24 years of experience in. I'm not proud of it, but. As you can tell by the title, we're talking about singleness. How do you feel about this topic?
I hate it. I do not like it at all. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I wish I had, like a partner, but I also like it because I get to have I get to build my relationship with God and also my friends. Yeah. Because, I feel like in the past, I used to, have a relationship and then just distance myself from everybody and just focus on that relationship. Yeah. But that's why I would say I hate it, but I like it.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I will say the things that we bring up are not just for single people, but I think if you're wanting to grow as an individual or grow with your relationship with God, this is also a good thing to listen to. So don't exit if you're not single. Please stay here because you probably need it. Anyways, but I agree. I think just being able to focus on your relationship with God first before you try to focus on another relationship. Mm-hmm. And that's the really cool part of it all, because being single, you're not really single because you're dating God, if that makes sense. Yeah. In the most non-weird way possible.
You know what? And I used to, well, I've been thinking that. I've thought that, in the past month or so. And I was like, wait, is that weird? Like, I asked him, is that weird that I say that? Or
I don't think it is, because that's literally what you're doing. Like, when you're in a relationship, you want somebody, like, to be patient with you, to have grace with you, and just to have fun with. And I feel like God can do that. So
yeah,
we're not really single.
True.
I'm gonna tell people that I'm not single. I'm dating God. So
true.
I probably won't tell people that because they'll think I'm weird.
He's also my father.
He's also my dad. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I probably won't say that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, being single is very, very hard, especially in like today's society, because you will literally go to a family function and anybody in your family, they're like, "Are you dating anybody yet? Does it look like I'm dating anybody?" Like, you bring it up every time. Like, there's no new answer. Yeah. And I think it's just crazy because, like, with my siblings, they got married young, as you know, and they have kids, and I thought that's where I was going. And it was my brother and then my sister, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm next for sure. And it's been God knows how long, like years and years since they've gotten married.
Yeah. And
so I think I was just hoping that I was next, but unfortunately that's just not how it was. But how is it with you? Are you single, dating?
I'm currently single. Sadly, but gladly too. I would say. Sadly, gladly. There's joy in being single, I guess.
For sure. Are you like single? Are you the content single, or are you the seeking?
I'm content single, but if like somebody comes to my life, I won't
push them away.
Yeah. Like, I will still give myself that opportunity, you know?
Yeah. And then as far as like dating, because you've dated people, how's dating? And then going back to going out there.
So it's actually crazy. Like, and it might sound a little stupid or crazy, but like you basically feel like you can't do anything by yourself, because like you're like used to this person, and like, at least for me, my relationships have lasted, like, I've only had one, but the one that I had it was long. It was like 3 years. And after like we broke up, it was really hard. Like, I would find myself just like doing nothing, just in my room watching a movie, literally to distract myself, or like a TV show, and eating. Food, like, food did it for me.
Yeah, you're like, that's what.
Yes, yeah. But whenever you start like healing and like getting like to have time on your own, you can start focusing like on God. Yeah, because that's what I did. Actually, like, whenever that relationship was over, I just like turned around, like literally turned my life around.
Yeah. And kind of what you were saying, like, when you're with somebody like 24/7 and then they're gone, it's like, what do you do with yourself? And so that's also like a perk of being single, because you're with God 24/7, so he will never leave you. And I mean, you never feel like the lonely pains or like whatever. And I just think with being single, it's really important that we continue to grow with God, because if we don't, we're seeking validation from other people. And with people come mistakes, come failures, and they can never be perfect. And so we always put them on this high pedestal to where we want their attention and we want their love, but then when they're gone, where do we go? And so I think I agree. That's what I was trying to say. Moral of the story is I agree. But yeah, I also, like, growing up, did you watch Disney?
I did.
Okay, what was your favorite Disney movie?
Beauty and the Beast.
Why?
I don't know. I really, really liked how, like, he was just this big monster and, like, scary looking. And then she, like, looked past that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And at the end, they fell in love. I don't know what happened after, but...
You're like, I don't know how they did it, but yeah, that's a good one. Beauty and the Beast. That's my mom's favorite movie, actually.
Yeah,
or a Disney movie. I like Tangle.
Yeah,
I did a lot. I just like that the guy had to fight for her. To get her. That's what Anywho, but the one thing that they don't tell you about these Disney movies, or in these Disney movies, are like the waiting of it all. Like they show you like the guy finding the girl. They have this 1-day journey or something.
Yes.
And,
oh, that's
and then
crazy.
they're in love. And I'm like, bro, this 1-day journey doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like So growing up, I was looking for my one day journey, and turns into 24 years. So
well,
yeah. Okay. Well, you know what I meant. Minus the 15 before. I don't know. But yeah, they don't tell you about like the waiting of it all, or what you do in the waiting, because what you do in the waiting is so important before you get into a relationship, and nobody talks about that. But I heard a quote. Let me read it, because I don't know it by heart, but let me see. So the quote that I saw the other day, it says, "When God closes one door, learn to praise him in the hallway." And basically what they were saying is like, the opportunities that you were praying for that didn't happen, but God closed the door on it. What are you doing in the hallway for different things, like different atmospheres to change on the other side of the door? And so you literally work in a hospital. And so what do they do in the waiting room that changes atmospheres in the like operation? Yeah. And so basically, like, are you on your knees in prayer, or are you doubting in the waiting room? And so that's where, like, the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. So what you're speaking in your waiting is going to happen on the other side. And I forget that sometimes, because I can be so negative, like so
towards
negative.
myself.
Yeah. And I'm like, God has nobody for me. Like, I'm going to be forever alone. And I'm like, why are you saying this? Like, do you realize like the words have assignments? Like what you are speaking is actually going to happen. And so I'm like, I take it all back. God, please.
Yeah. And I also heard one time that this worship leader, she also said that you're speaking to your 5-year-old self.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so that's actually what sometimes stops me. I'm like, wait, why am I saying this to myself? And also, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to the 5-year-old that dreamed with the Beauty and the Beast movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's so sad to think about, actually, because that's so true. Like, yeah. I just, even like growing up, I realized like now that I didn't really want like a prince. I just wanted somebody to rescue me from what I was going through. Yeah. And so like now that I know it wasn't like a human that I was looking for, but it was actually God that I was looking for. Yeah. And so being able to, I'm probably going to cry because now that you said that, but like being able to like look back at my little 6-year-old self and be like, oh, I'm going to cry. Why am I going to cry?
It's okay.
But like being able to look at her and just be like, God's got you. Like, oh God. Anyways. But like God had me the whole time. I wasn't looking for my dad or my mom. I was looking for God. And so to be able to say that to my little self, it's like you weren't like rescued by a human. You were rescued by your father who actually loves you. And so, yeah, thanks for doing that to me. Appreciate that. God. Anywho. But yeah, it's very important to praise him in the waiting. And that's one thing that I'm learning to do is just stopping and being content in where he has me. Because at the end of the day, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Yeah. And I was reading the Bible because, you know, it actually talks about that in the Bible. And I think it was, I don't remember who it is, Paul, Peter, one of the P's, but they were saying like, it's better to be single than to be married. And I'm like, I don't think anybody liked you. That's why you said that. But apparently like God has called people to be married, but he's also called people to be single.
That scares me. I know.
And so I'm like, God, did you call me to be single my whole life? Because that is not what I'm wanting. But I've also had to shift my perspective and be like, if you did call me to be single, take this desire from me, because if I'm going to be single, I don't want a desire to be married. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it scares me, actually, that might be where he called me to be. Yeah. And yeah, but
that's crazy. I've heard that too. And it's scary.
I know.
It is scary.
Jeez.
But I've also heard like, so there was this couple that was trying to have a, like, you know, form a family. They had been together for like 12 years already. Yeah. And they were not getting any younger, and they couldn't have
dang.
Dang,
okay.
Wait, don't put that in. And so they were trying to have a family. Yeah. But the guy, the husband, he was more like, whenever God wants us to have a family, then that's when we're gonna have a family. But the lady, she was like, I want to have a baby right now. And then it went like that for the years and years until she gave that desire to God. Like right after that, a couple months later, she got pregnant. Like after you give it to God and you're like not worrying about it. I'm not saying like the next day somebody's gonna come up to you and say, hey, but like, I feel like that helps to focus more on him. Yeah,
I agree. And I've also like, conversations with God have definitely changed, because I'm like, God, I'm not chasing after no guy. Like, if he is for me, you've got to bring him to me, because I go to 3 places: church, home, and work. So I'm like, you could bring him to one of those, not my home, because that's kind of creepy, but you could bring him to church or to work. But if it's not that, I really don't know. But maybe it is my fault, because I'm a homebody, and you know, people are outside of my home. And so I don't know. It's just, my conversations with God have been very difficult lately, because, you know, I feel like we've talked about this before.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I'm like, wait, this kind of seems familiar, but I will say, like, with Christian dating, I feel like the guys that are in the Christian pool, if you would say, are, I don't know if corny is the right word, but they're kind of corny to me. And so another thing is like, I've heard like not my whole life, since I've lived with my parents now, that I need to be praying for my future spouse. And so like, when I pray for him, I'm like, God, can you please make him have like style? Can you please, let him not have high waters on? Like, can you please just help him out a little bit? Like, I also just want it to be like what I actually desire in a person. You know what I mean? And so like, I'm checking everything. Like, it could be a stereotype or whatever, but I'm making sure I put everything in that list. And I think it's important, because like, when you tell God what you are looking for, and when he brings it to you, it's like a testimony, because you can see it laid out. Yeah. But what are some of the things that you have on your list for your God?
I actually I want them to be like singers. Like, I want them to know how to sing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mariely can sing, by the way. She sings. That's why she says that. So sing us something. Okay, maybe not.
One day.
For sure.
Yeah, so I have that they can sing. I have that they're like family oriented. That's the word. Like that they love their family, and that's about it. taller than me, for sure, because I'm tall.
Yeah.
Pretty tall. But that's it.
A couple of things that I have on my list, I think, are probably that he's not artsy, like, you know, like the whole get up, but like, he's just creative. Yeah. And I don't know, because I like photography, I like painting. Yeah. He doesn't like have to have the same things that I like, but close would be great. Yeah. And then also just like financially stable, but also like spiritually wealthy. Like, where his relationship with God is like stronger than his relationship with me. Yes. And so I'm like, if you don't love God, I am sorry, this is not gonna work, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know, but I just don't want like what people think the corny Christian is. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah.
But, and I would add, I mean, I know that like in every relationship, like a godly relationship, the guy leads, but I like want that, like really want that. Yeah. You know,
while you're in your single stage and you have no obligation to be with anybody or to be connected to anything, really actually dive into being single.
You also want to have community outside of your relationship with a partner.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you're single, we could be friends with you.
Yeah.
For now, right?
Yeah.
Because God, please help us. Final question. For the people that are going through what we're going through in the season of singleness, what is your best piece of advice you'd say?
I would say to seek God and like really focus on him and make him the center of your life, because that's really gonna help and that's gonna make a difference, because like then you'll go into that relationship knowing who you are in his eyes and not really trying to please them, and like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you're already going into that relationship knowing who you are, what like you want to, because that plays a part.
Yeah.
But yeah, just focus on God, and you will soon find your person, your soulmate.
For sure.
I already found mine, but
Oh, okay. He just doesn't
hasn't.
know it yet.
He did for a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I would say my best piece of advice would be to have God develop you into the right person before you try to find the right person. Because, like I said, these guys out here are not it.
Yeah.
And don't settle because you are lonely. Don't settle because you want somebody. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I almost did.
Yeah. Don't do it.
I'm single now.
Moral of the story is just don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I want to challenge you guys to actually take a look in the mirror and ask God, what is it that you are wanting from me in this season? What is it that you are preparing me for in my next season? And write it down, type it out, whatever it is. And then also write down everything that you want to see in your future spouse. Because once that person comes to you and then you look back at that list, and God will show you exactly the right person he's brought for you.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways.
I'm telling you, I already know.
Oh, my God. For sure, for sure. But love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Thank you, Mariely, for participating.
Thank you for having me.
It was so fun. We'll have to do a different one. Another one. I don't know what about, but for sure. Until next time, this is Addison Rose signing out. If you didn't know, this is AAO. Bye. You have to say bye with me.
Bye.